be a first video interview that I've done for my blog. I've got a new camera. I've got a microphone set up here, as you can see, and Guillaume has kindly agreed last minute to be there on video with me for the first interview. So this will be hosted on YouTube and on my website as well. Hopefully the sound is good. I've tested it a few times. We will see. So what I'll do is I'll just get started with the interview then. So can you tell me who are you? Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm Guillaume. I'm French. My dad is from Spanish origin, so I feel way European.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mom's French, my dad's Spanish. I lived in different countries, and I grew up in a little village
Mm-hmm.
with 40 people in there.
Okay.
In the south of France called Les Mas. It was like a tiny castle that my parents built up. So I grew up in the middle of nowhere, and it was so lovely. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I searched it on Google, and it wouldn't even show me like a proper location. It was hard to find. It said it, but it was like kind of...
Yeah, it would be in the middle of the mountains.
Yeah. It was kind of like off the map kind of area. And that's in the south, you said, was it?
Yeah, down the south of France by the border of Spain.
Nice. Nice. And when you say it was a castle, like it was an old castle that they built that was derelict and they built it up, or?
So it's like a medieval castle where my parents bought it for nothing.
Okay.
But it was a pile of stones. So we moved there when I was 6. I'm born in Paris, but we moved there and it was their dream. So I learned how to build a home.
Nice.
Since all my holidays spent to build that castle up.
Nice. It sounds like that Channel 4 show, like Escape to the Chateau.
It's exactly like
it's
that.
like that.
It is exactly like that.
Exactly.
We rescued all the donkeys in
Oh, nice.
We could find all the animals and stuff. Yeah,
Nice.
it was a bit like that.
And how do we know each other?
Well, we work together.
Yeah.
I think, I always seen you around, and I always thought, I want to know that guy. And we got to be colleagues now, and we work in the same company.
We work in the same company, and you joined my team last year, and then you've come back again this year. So that's good. I don't know if you want to say where you work or not, but you don't have to. But it's up to you.
Yeah, we work for the Lego group.
Yeah.
No, the toy company. Yeah, it's a good place to meet people, really.
It is. Yeah, so many international people that work here. What was it like then, going back to France? What was it like growing up in France? Maybe more specifically, the area that you grew up when you moved there.
It was really strange because the main city where I went to school was called Saint-Afrique, and I was born in Paris. Saint-Afrique means Saint Africa.
Yeah.
And when my parents told me, we're going to move down the south, I thought I was moving to Africa.
Oh, right.
And when I arrived there, they were all actually talking Occitan, which is the local language, and some classes were taught in that language, which I never heard of.
Right.
So it was like moving to a different country where I wasn't accepted. It was the first time I felt strange when I was 6 to not be like the others. Mm-hmm. So it was really lonely when I got there. But it was better in secondary school where you had people from different places who joined that bigger school. So it was much better. But it was... I'm glad they moved there, even if it was difficult when I was younger. But we didn't have any McDonald's.
Right.
I love that story about the McDonald's because... they tried to build the McDonald's, but I think it lasted for 2 or 3 years because we had farmers who were against all these things and they were unbuilding the McDonald's every night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, during the day they were building it, but they were unbuilding it. So it was 45 minutes away from us, the first fast food. So all the food is natural. Everything was so natural. So when I got there, it felt really much different than Paris. But my best friend were goats, and I made all my stories and all my memories in the woods and in the mountains, and I got to ride horses for free. Mm-hmm. I don't know, all these sports I could do in the wilderness was absolutely crazy, and memories with my dad running in the mountains and stuff. It was so pure. So do
you have family that still live around there or no?
No, we moved there with no families around. So, most of my family are in Spain, in the border of Spain, but on the other side of the Pyrenees, or in Paris. I don't have much family there. Only my sister and my mum there.
Okay, so you do still go back to that area from
time
to time?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. That's where recently you shared some pictures of like the trees that had fallen down because of the bad weather and everything?
There you go.
Okay,
it's a bit like The Sound of Music, if you've seen that movie.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that. The closest neighbor my mum's got is a nunnery.
Oh, okay.
So it's like 2 kilometers away.
Yeah. Okay, close neighbour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
And I don't know much about the dialect you mentioned. So is that a dialect of French, or is that it's not French, or?
It is. It's the French dialect. So before the revolution, we
Mhm.
all had different dialects
Right.
in every areas. The French we're talking now is the French from Paris.
Right.
So after the revolution, everyone who didn't learn that French from Paris got killed. So
Okay.
yeah, so it wasn't that the revolution wasn't great.
Yeah.
If you know the French stories, we call that the how do you call it? I can't remember the name. But so these languages are still going on.
Yeah.
And we learned it at school. So I did drama in that language. I did history when I was really young.
Mhm.
And then when you grow up, you can join European classes. So you could do math in Spanish or geography in English, but that language will still be in there. So yeah,
that's
so it's
really interesting. I never heard of that dialect, or,
Yeah.
or I didn't know enough about the country to know
Yeah.
about the different dialects. So
Yeah,
that's interesting.
it's quite similar to Catalan.
Yes, yeah.
So we still have Catalan, but it's
Mhm.
the closest language you can find to Catalan.
Oh, so it's not that different from Catalan
No,
then. Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
But if you
Makes
speak Latin, you would understand that language.
Yeah.
But
okay.
for me, it was really weird.
Well, you've opened my eyes then. So I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Cool. This is kind of a broad question then. So like, what does being French mean to you? I know it's a big subject, but is there something that stands out to you when I say that?
Yeah, it might be different than any other French people, but because my dad was from the immigration of Spain, my grandma was actually in a camp when she was 4 years old. So all this history to me, it's for me, France is the part of an immigration country where people felt safe and learning the history of the revolution and the right to wear whatever we want, believe in whatever we want, being cut from the religion as well at school or growing up. All these things to me is being French is a part of the freedom.
Yeah.
How to speak, we learn how to strike, we learn how to express how we feel and what we want to grow up in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite I don't know, a sense of freedom.
Yeah.
Being French, but I don't think French is just French. It's more like we've got immigration from Italy, from every country during all the wars we had and all this stuff. So to me, it's a big immigration place.
Yeah, not even just the wars, but like the colonization and things like that. Same as the UK, I suppose, in that respect. So yeah, that's interesting. That's nice. Oh, sorry, I've got the questions on the screen here, so if I keep looking this way, that is why. So you've actually given me a lot of advice about travelling around France. More recently, I went to Nice and Aix and those kind of places, and you and Charlene, our colleague, gave me a lot of advice about that, which was super helpful, by the way. But if you had to give any advice to anybody else that didn't know you about visiting France in general, is there anything that kind of stands out as some advice to give? I mean, it doesn't have to be just Paris related, because I know that's where most people would go, but is there anything that stands out or somewhere you'd recommend?
There is a lot of beautiful places, and I think every areas are completely different. The architecture and all the places. I think you need to go to anywhere you're going to go. I think, but in any countries, I think sometimes it's just sitting down, enjoy the culture, look at what people are doing, listen to what they're doing. Even if you don't understand, sit down, have a coffee, grab something that someone is eating, and do the same thing as them. Sit down and enjoy. And it's quite amazing because, like where I grew up, for example, you can sit down and see like a medieval place, a modern place next to it. With Roman inspiration in the building, medieval castle behind it, and you'll still see bullets from the Nazi in the wall that you don't even notice when you're walking. And I always say, like, grab a coffee, sit down, listen to that, and enjoy the charm. Yeah. Because I think there is a lot of culture, there is a lot of energy around you, and I think people are lovely. If you try to speak their language and take the time to get inspiration from everything, it's like poetry to me when I sit down there. And in any country, I do that. I sit down and I try to enjoy the culture and copy people. Yeah. If they look happy and smiley, I'll copy them and do the same.
That's really good advice. And you kind of gave me similar advice. And I kind of felt that way when I went to Nice. Like we'd go to any restaurant, sit outside, and it seemed like every waiter knew every local person that was walking by, shake hands, say hello. They were all so friendly to us, whereas my image of France before was like Paris, because that's all I've been to, and some and like Calais and stuff. So it wasn't the same. Not that I find people in Paris necessarily rude, but it's like a city. It's a major city, so it's completely different. And people are so, I got to go here, I got to go there. I don't have time to help you. Whereas Nice and Aix and Monaco obviously is a different country, but still same vibe. Like everyone made the time, and yeah, I knew very limited French from like not even GCSEs, and I get it back out, and they'd be like, "Oh, okay, I'll try and help you with your broken French." But yeah, it was good. And especially when we had a young child with us, everybody was really accommodating. So that was good.
I always say, like, when if you don't know what to talk about, point out the wine you're trying on the day. It's like if you see someone taking a pichet, like, or a carafe of wine, it's always my example, because I took my partner to a restaurant. He's like, "Oh, you're taking the wine of the day, like the house wine." I say yes, because if it's a bad wine, no one will take it, and no one will be sitting at that restaurant.
Yeah.
And so we pointed at that wine, asked the restaurant what it was, and we ended up visiting the winery behind, because the wine was coming from behind. And on that day we made so many friends, and we visited and tried free wine. So
nice.
So
nice. That's good. Okay, that's good advice.
Sometimes you just need to do that.
Do you feel like a passion for travel then? Like, what kind of stands out for you when you're traveling? Is there anything that kind of stands out there?
Yeah, like I always loved to travel when I was young. Growing up in the countryside, the middle of nowhere, I always wanted to escape.
Yeah.
And I always said, "Oh, I'm going to become a cabin crew one day." Or
yeah.
I needed to travel. I needed to see what was behind that mountain. And I knew my family was Spanish. I used to go when I was really young to Spain, come back talking Spanish. So I always wanted to travel more. So I became cabin crew, and I traveled all around the world. And I love discovering culture. I think there is a beauty in people and connecting with people. Whatever culture they have, whatever religion they have, I always have the best memories with people. And I remember traveling to Egypt during the revolution, and I met a doctor who gave me a Quran, and I read the Quran on the Nile in the end. And I did bring that book to someone I worked with in another company who was Muslim, and I gave it to him. And connecting through people is something that is nurturing my travels.
Yeah.
Because you always find a beautiful soul, but you always try good food and see good things. So
I think I can only echo that, really. Did your love for travel then make you want to live abroad originally, or how did you get to that decision, and where did you start living abroad?
So to live abroad, it's a long story.
Yeah, we got time if you want to tell it.
So when I was younger, when I was 16, I had drugs issues, and I got placed into a school where it was before going to jail. So it was a special school to learn how to become better.
Yeah, they call it like juvie or something in America, like juvenile something.
It's it's exactly that. So I ended up like that in this school, and I was questioning myself, why did I go there? And I met key people in my life, and one of these women was looking after me, and she told me this sentence I'll never forget. Like in life, you make choices. It's like a branch in the tree. You've got the right one, the good one, and the left one. It doesn't matter if you take the left one, the bad one. At the end of that, you've got another branch. And since that day, I always try to become a better person. And so when I finished that school, I didn't go to jail. I was much better, but I needed to escape and to not go back to where I was.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have the same friends. I didn't know what to do. And next to us, it was an airport. It was like a €14 flight to London.
Yeah.
So I did that. So that's
just
how
I started.
So I started to travel because I had only €300.
You're right.
And so I found a job after 4 days in Birmingham, because I couldn't find anything in London.
Yeah.
So I took a little bus to go to Birmingham, and I found a French restaurant there, and I worked there, and that's how it became a passion. And people were so welcoming. I didn't speak their language. I couldn't understand anything, but yet they paid for my train ticket sometimes. They paid for my food. They invited me to shows. I met key people in England and Wales. I moved to Wales after that. And it was, so it gave me like a passion to travel and to connect with people.
Yeah.
And it built me. So travels, always was part of me when...
Yeah. Every time I ask you questions, I learn so much, and I want to ask so many more questions about that, but in the interest of the time, I'll keep moving through. But I think we could have probably like 8 interviews at this stage. But so I know you worked at Disneyland Paris at some point as well. How did you go? So what's the sort of timeline? So you came to the UK, you worked in Birmingham, you went to live in Wales. What's the timeline of getting you back into France and then Disneyland Paris?
So when I was in Wales, I was working. I lived in a family. I looked after kids.
Mm-hmm.
I did I worked a bit in a pub.
Yeah.
Did different things, but I was also auditioning for different things.
Yeah.
So I did an audition for Big Brother in the UK. It was absolutely hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was one of my first audition, and so I was on this audition thingy, and it was the casting director from Disneyland Paris who was on this website, and I was doing like different pictures for different things, and the guy reached out and said to me like, oh, I've got an audition in London or Leeds, and I was going to Paris on that week, and I said, oh, you can come to Disneyland and I'll do the audition. I was on my own. It was really scary. I never danced before. And then I ended up there. So it was right after I was 18, yeah.
Okay.
18, yeah.
And what was your kind of role there? I know there's specific terminology, so I'll let you handle that. But what was your role there, and how long were you there for? What kind of things did you do?
I stayed nearly 13 years in total,
mm-hmm.
and I started as an entertainer, I'll say that.
Yeah.
So I was best friend with so many characters that I connected with. I danced on parades, on different shows. I also got to be a manager there, coordinator, I'll say, after all these years. But my best part was connecting with children.
Yeah.
So we did Make a Dream, I'll say that.
Yeah.
So Disneyland invited kids who were ill, or sometimes they were, I don't know how you say that. They were...
Might have a terminal kind of thing.
Yeah, so we had Rush Wish where the kid was going to die in a few days or something like that. They had a dream, and Disney paid for that dream to become true.
Yeah.
So we took them to sleep with Prince Charming and Cinderella, for example, and things like that. So I used to love doing that, and Disney paid for that. So sometimes on my shift I would come and they'd say, oh, Guillaume, you're on Make a Dream. So I would go to the entrance of the park, pick a family and make their dream come true.
Yeah.
Or I have like already someone in a hotel where I know they had an allergy or something like that.
Yeah.
And I would have a princess hiding in a backstage, playing with her friends. And when I found that kid, I would take the character and go on a ride with them.
Yeah.
Take specials like that. So it was a lot of different things that I could do.
Yeah.
And I love these days. Yeah.
It sounds amazing. Like, I've been to Disneyland Paris and California a few times, and I'm not the biggest Disney fan, but when you see that interaction with the kids and the characters, I think it's such a wonderful thing. And if you can be some part of that, like helping a character meet somebody or whatever that is, I think that must mean a lot to you and to those families and to those children that sadly are not here anymore.
There is so many faces I'll never forget, so many cries I'll never forget.
Yeah.
But what I remember the most, it was the love.
Yeah.
Like the love you get from people is absolutely crazy. I never found a place where I got looked at the way they did. And it's so pure because so many people need to dream, right?
Yeah.
And we all need that. And the happiness it comes in their eyes that you can't get that anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's something I miss dearly,
Yeah. So I guess that's the most rewarding part about being a part of Disneyland is that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, living in a dream and making dream come true to people is priceless. Yeah, it was the best part. And as well, like when you think in entertainment, you always need to audition for different things, and it's always a stress to what's next, what's bigger, better. And their shows are amazing. I never had to audition much. I always got given stuff, and I had people believing in me more than I believed in myself. I got there, I didn't know how to dance, I didn't know how to do anything. Yeah. And I was just looking pretty in the place, and then they got me all these tools, and I learned everything there.
Yeah. What was the, how do I word it? Who's the character that you liked being best friends with the most?
There's so many. My absolutely favorite one was the villains. I love the villains. Maleficent on a night parade was so good. It was so good to be there with her, and she disappeared at some point, and she transformed into that massive dragon. It was absolutely crazy to do that. But our memories with Tigger, who felt like Michael Jackson in the middle of the park, everyone running after him, and like you get so many hugs
big
from the
celebrity,
kids. All the kids who want to hug a parent or someone. It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I love the Marvel character with Spider-Man as well. Got so many good memories with him. it was good. But the first memory I had was with Prince Charming, at Prince,
Yes.
which I was really close to, and I got the best love, the best memories with him.
Yeah, nice. That's fantastic. Do you feel like that role, or the roles that you had there, or the experiences that you had there, kind of set you on a path to where you are now? Like, what's the key thing you really learned being a part of that experience?
There is so much I learned. I think I need to say thank you to Disneyland for so many things. Just the way I hold my body, just the way I talk to people, the tolerance, the inclusivity was something there already when no one was talking about it.
Yeah.
That was something that was constantly there.
Yeah. For me, you always come across as like a very positive and caring person. And do you feel that your experience at Disney allowed you to be that way or express yourself in that way? Did you learn that from being there, or was that something that you always had? I don't know. It's a bit of a wide-ranging question, but for me, like, when I see you at work, or even outside of work, when we go out with the teams and stuff, you're very caring. You know when someone's down, or you always come in and brighten people's day. Like, you say hello to pretty much everybody. Like, I really like that. Is that something that you've always had, or is that something you learned along the way, or?
I think so. I think it's. My mum always told me I was always like a happy child, and I always change the mood in a room.
Yeah.
If I entered, I had a really angry dad, and I would enter the room, and I would always want to change the mood of everyone.
Yeah.
I was like, I do not want this.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that I learned since I was really young, but also like the training I had. I did an entertainment school. Where we got taught to respect the people, the cleaners, always say hi to the cleaners. In Disneyland, it was the same, like you always say hi to restaurant staff, and it's something I always had in me. And my mom was really, she was working in a college where she looked after the cleaners, after the staff at the canteen. And she always told me, like, I grew up with these ideas, like you need to respect everyone around you. And I always wanted to brighten their days. So in Disney it was something really common. Like I see someone behind the counter handing me socks and underwear and t-shirts, and I would know their names. I would call their names and I'll say thank you to their names, to their person, never to a number. But it was something I learned in Disney as well, where you had to use names. So I think it was all along my life I had to respect people. Yeah. And that's something I love. And I lived for love, and I live to connect with people. Yeah. So it's always something I really want. And I don't know, like it feeds me. So it makes me happy to see people happy.
Yeah, I get it. And I think you really encapsulate everything you just said there, like from the outside. I mean, I didn't know you before you joined my team, really. I don't recall like we ever speaking or anything, but yeah, since you did, I think we got on from day one, and I see the way you are with your team, or the teams that you've had, or your friends, or your colleagues. Like everything is, it's clear. So it's nice.
Oh, thank you.
How did you get to the point where you felt like my time working with Disney, the Disney company, is coming to an end? How did you move on from that? Because it must be a very hard experience to kind of leave.
I never wanted to leave.
Yeah.
No, it was, I remember going on holiday in Cambodia with the woman who was working at costuming in Disney.
Yeah.
She invited me, she was from there, and I went with her in Cambodia, and I worked in the fields with her cousins. It was in the middle of the jungle. We didn't have any toilets, any showers, any fridge, nothing. And it was really hard time, but people were happy. And when I came back from this holiday, my partner, who's British, said, I really want to go back to England. And I freaked out. And I said, I called my mum, actually, and I said, Anthony wants to go back home. And she said, what are you scared of? I said, you've just been to Cambodia. You're always telling me like how happy these people are in your travels and all the connection you made. I said, you lived 6 lives already. You've done so many stuff. Go. And she said, like, go. What else do you want to do? And I said, I really wanted to be a cabin crew. So I said to Anthony, I'm coming with you. I always wanted to be a cabin crew. And then I went for it.
Nice. Yeah. So did you meet your partner, at Disney?
Yeah, we were 5 years together. And he was working 5 years in Disney, and then we moved back to England together. Yeah.
Must have been okay because, first of all, you have your partner, and also you'd lived in the UK before as well, so not the hugest leap from Cambodian jungles, I guess. That's good. Like, you set a goal and said, no, okay, I'm going to go with you, but I want to achieve this. And I guess that kind of moves me on to my next question. So what airline or airlines did you work for, and when abouts was that? How many years ago was that?
So with Disney, I could freeze my contract for 3 years. So
Yeah.
I wanted to do that for 3 years, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. I wanted to travel for 3 years. So I went for British Airways,
Mm-hmm.
first company I found. I didn't know anything about them. I found them online because they were hiring, and I went. It was scary. I didn't know anything about aviation or things like that, but it was a really long process. But I got it.
Nice. Was that out of Heathrow or?
Heathrow Terminal 5. We did. It was called mixed fleet, so we did long haul, mid haul, and short haul. We did a mix of everything, which was interesting because I always thought, I would love to travel really far away, and I discovered Europe, and I loved Europe. So I was really glad we did everything.
I mean, I met a lot of people just after COVID when everybody kind of went to different jobs, and so many people from airlines were affected, and they would tell me, like, people from Virgin would tell me, like, we did all these things, we went all these places. Even people from like shorter haul budget airlines like Ryanair and stuff would tell me like the fun that they would have and the experiences. And I don't know, whenever I'm a passenger on any airline, it looks like everyone's having fun and everyone's so nice. I mean, like, British Airways, I'd never have an issue with them. Japan Airlines, are great. Malaysian Airlines as well, they're really good. I could go on, but it seems like such a nice role to do. So what was the best sort of part about that role for you? I guess you kind of touched on some bits already, but what really stands out as your favourite parts of that role?
Don't get me wrong, I love traveling, but it's once again, it's like the love of people. It's really strange, but talking to, and I have faces coming up, like when you speak about it, Spanish people, Mexican people I helped. I remember helping a Russian lady who died in front of me 3 times, and I got her back to life 3 times, and it's things like that where I didn't know I would like that, but saving lives wasn't on every flight, but that's what I discovered I like doing. You never knew what you were gonna get, and sometimes it was absolutely mad. I've got mad stories up there in the air.
Yeah, you've told me some already, maybe not for here, but you have told me some stories.
But like saving lives was something that I didn't expect, and the satisfaction of it was absolutely crazy.
So in the end, you stayed longer than the 3 years that you were going to freeze your contract at Disney, or how did that happen?
Well, like COVID happened, but my mom called me and said she had cancer, so it was a 3rd cancer.
Okay.
So I went back to France and got stuck there, so I never got to get back to BA or Disney because I was
at COVID time.
So I lost both jobs.
I mean, it's sad that you lost both roles, but now you're here with us, so that's in a roundabout way it works out, right? Sometimes. So okay, so that must have been quite a
I was supposed to go back to Disney, but I lost my dad when I was quite young. So when my mom called me and she said she was sick, I was like, I can't let you be alone. And I'm glad I did it. And Disney called me back again. BA called me back again, and I stayed at Lego. So
that's good.
There is a reason.
That's good. Yeah, I guess we can touch on how you got to the Lego group, I guess, in a moment. Well, actually, let's go on to that then. So when did you come back? And to the UK, and how did you get to this role that you're in now?
So as soon as I could go back to the UK, when I was stuck with COVID with my mum, she was quite safe doing her treatment. So my sister could look after her. So I went back to, I had a discussion with my partner. It was like, you didn't give me a chance to build a relationship together because you were always flying, always far away, didn't give a chance to the UK. So I said, well, look, so I'm going to look for another job. And I didn't go back to France, and I found Lego in 5 days. It was absolutely crazy. It went so quick. And I got to Lego like that.
And how long have you been at the company now?
5 years.
5 years. Yeah. Just a bit longer than me then. And you started as an advisor, so helping people on the phones and chat and email, and you're currently a team leader.
Yeah, looking after a team. Yeah.
Nice.
We're colleagues now.
Yes, we are. Yeah. I don't ever remember talking to you as an advisor, so that's good because you must have never done anything wrong. So
that's a good sign.
Okay, let's move on to a little bit about going back about the UK life in general. So, what do you enjoy about living in the UK? What kind of things stand out to you about living here?
I remember the first time I came to the UK, it was a freedom of people, like the way they dressed up, the way I felt like no one was judged. It was so strange. Like you can see like women with their flip flops and pajamas in the shop, and no
Yep.
one turns around. It's absolutely crazy. But even in clubs, like if I would go in a straight club in Paris, I know that women will struggle with men.
Yeah.
They will be touched all the time or grabbed, or I've never seen anything like that here.
Okay,
So I
that's
feel
good.
much safer. But I don't know if it's because it's not my country, or but
Yeah.
that's what I like the most. It's like the tolerance of people is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's
So,
good.
Yeah.
Do you think you've picked up any British habits since having a British partner and living here as well?
Oh yeah. People will say, it used to say I'm rude because I used to say everything I had in my mind. Now I know how to put sugar around things. Well, I don't say stuff straight away now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, hold back. I think that's a very British thing to just kind of silently hate or not hate, but just be annoyed about something, but we're not going to say anything. We'll just
It helped
stand
me
there.
in my relationship with Anthony. Like if you need someone to do the washing, you say, "Oh, I think the washing needs to be done."
Yeah.
But before I was like, "Why did you not do that?" It's like,
Yeah, that's the British way.
My communication got better.
Yeah. Is there any location in the UK that really stands out to you that you visited? Because you said you lived in Wales as well. So is there anywhere that really stands out to you in the UK?
I loved Brecon Beacon.
Yeah.
It was a park. I discovered so many places. I think I traveled more in the UK than I did in France. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know why you don't do that in your own country, but you do that in every other country. But no, I had so many places I liked. The coast worlds, absolutely love. I went down Cornwall.
Yeah, Cornwall.
I loved Cornwall. I love hiking, so all these mountains and the Peak District as well. And Wales, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I agree with all of those, to be honest. I didn't really explore the UK until I moved back here as well with my partner who's not from the UK. So you see it through a different lens. So maybe one day you'll travel a bit of France with your partner and see it in a different lens. But I guess you guys lived there for a while, so you might have seen it enough already. I don't know. But
I think I was younger. I didn't really care. It's really strange. We do it more now. But like even like going to Bath in England, like I didn't know that existed in England. For like the Roman bath in there is absolutely stunning. You can't find that anywhere else but in Bath.
It's not that far from this kind of area that we live in as well. So yeah, I've been there, but only the last couple of years. I didn't really care about these things until recently. So yeah, it's good. Let's go back to where we work now at the Lego Group for a bit. So what do you find is the most rewarding part about working here? And don't worry, I won't just use this against you or something later. I won't just show it to everybody here so that you get rewards and stuff. But what is the best part about working here?
It's the people. It's something I found in Disney where Disneyland was the first place where I worked with so many people from all around the world. Yeah. And I think in Lego I found that back. And I mean, like all our colleagues are from different places in the world, different religion, different cultures, and that's what I like the most. Is I never get bored of talking to people. Yeah,
I'm exactly the same. That's exactly the reason that I love working here. Is like every person I manage or I'm colleagues with speaks, probably English and another language, or is from somewhere else, or they've that's why most of the people I interview are actually from work because there's so many stories, and so many experiences. So yeah, it's what keeps me like. Not coming back because I need money, but it keeps me really happy here. Like if I can just talk to anybody, and every year you get new people join with new stories and experiences. So,
and it's something like I was really surprised about. Like when I had my first team, looking after my first team, and I had so many people from different cultures, and I had Muslims, I had straight people, I had people from all around the world, and I spoke about my partner, and we had a joke about a beautiful man, and that was tolerated, and I didn't feel judged. I didn't, and you it's sad, but you can't find these places everywhere, and you feel safe, and that's somewhere I feel safe, and these people are everything to me. Yeah,
good. Yeah, and I'm happy. I feel the same. I feel like you can talk about anything in your teams, like maybe if someone is offended, like, or doesn't agree with something, they'll say it in a nice way. It's not ever like a big issue. It's about like, no, okay, actually I believe this, or I think that. I mean, we don't go too deep on these conversations in our meetings, but if it comes up, it's when you mix people from all different backgrounds, sometimes you will have some differences, I guess, but generally it's one of the most welcoming places I've ever worked. So, and I think I learned a lot about different cultures from working here and different different ethnicities or orientations and everything. So yeah, it's a good place to work. Do you think working here has allowed the skills that you already have, like your people skills and everything, to really flourish, or do you think you've learned more working here? How do you?
I don't know if I learned a lot, but what I learned a lot is the different regulation and
Yeah.
things like that than in France.
Yeah.
It's that I learned a lot from the different regulation, but from I don't know if I can say I learned.
No, I mean like at Lego specifically, or like do you think like you've got really good people skills? I find. Do you think like working at the Lego group has allowed those skills to flourish? Like you can use them really well here, or like you can be a bit more open with your teams, right? Than you maybe could in another business as a manager, or.
No, I think it's quite similar, but it's nice to be able to use it.
Yeah.
With different people and different teams, and our teams are moving quite a lot, so you have to adapt yourself quite a lot, and it's a moving market all the time. Different things are coming in or things like that, which is quite nice to be challenged all the time. It's not a stagnant thing. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
But I think it was really similar to what I used to do before.
Yeah.
So it's
I think, like you said, those careers that you've had where you've been able to just like make someone's day or meet different people from around the world, or go to different locations. Like it all kind of comes into one here, I guess.
What I like is that compared to the bigger company I worked with, it's like my team is much smaller.
Yeah.
So it's more personal. You can get more personal with people.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, it's like it was huge teams where I would know everyone, but here it's like it feels much closer to people.
Yeah.
So it's probably something that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Too.
I'm the closest with like colleagues and just the teammates and people I manage and stuff here than I have been anywhere else, and I don't think I would get that anywhere else either.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. So we'll move on from your career a little bit, and you've kind of touched upon parts of this already throughout this process. But as a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, do you feel like you're well represented in society currently? Do you feel like it's not a subject I'm very familiar with, obviously. So what's your kind of feelings on that? Do you feel like the UK is quite accepting, or the company is quite accepting?
It's getting way better. It's getting much better. I mean, it's especially in the UK, if you compare to the Margaret Thatcher years where they had a lot of propaganda against it, the steps we made is absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Even on TV, we used to be caricatures, represented by caricatures and stuff, and I think it's really good. And it gives me a lot of hope when I see like younger people being so much more tolerant than older people, which often you hear, young people, but actually like I see my niece and nephew who having a gay uncle is seen as a good thing. And even when I get invited to their friend's home, and my niece and nephew are mixed race, and I see their friends inviting me, and they're the only black people around in that little village, and when I get invited I always say like, I'm so glad my daughter is friend with these kids and they've got a gay uncle, because I want to show them what tolerance is, and that we are normal people. It's just what we decide to do with our body or not decide who we love or who we are. So it gives me a lot of hope, and I think it's much better than it used to be.
Yeah, I would think so. I'm speaking from my perspective as a straight white male, but as a kid, not so much as a kid, but maybe like early teens and stuff, like you'd use gay as an insult. But that was just what you did, and you wouldn't think about it. It was just, you're gay, and that's it. But I sit back now and I'm like, why did we say that? I know we're just kids, but like you sit there and go, well, these are real people. Like, why are you using what they are as an insult? So that to me is the same now. If I thought back, as like being racist in a way. And I think a lot of people's attitudes have changed, because I've got that whole friend group, and I said to them the other day, like, why did we say that? And they all went, I don't know why, because and some of them are gay now as well. So I love that we're not just using it as a silly insult or like caricatures anymore or those kind of things. Like you can make a comedy or anything about someone who is gay or whatever, but it doesn't have to be at their expense.
I know that, for example, the series Love Victor, I don't know if you ever seen that, but on Disney Plus, I don't know if you've seen
I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's something like it's really well represented about a teenager who's gay and is finding himself, and these things gives me hope. I wish I had that when I was younger, and to navigate life as well, because I remember having these feelings and nowadays, like when I'm getting attacked, like I can wake up easily on a Facebook message that I commented on a drag queen with 100 message of hate, telling me like I'm a I don't know, like the devil's son or whatever, and I've got 100 message of hate where no one usually get this, but I wish I could have that when I was younger, to be able to navigate that, where I didn't. I feel like the younger kids are gonna have support, even though we say like, oh, social media are crazy. I think it's helping a lot of kids, and I get contacted by two twins actually in the village where my mum is. And they're gay, both of them, and their parents don't know. And they contacted me because I was openly gay, and they got inspired from that. And so I think like having better representation makes people more aware, and they can speak freely about their feelings and things like that. So I've got a lot of hope. I think it's much better.
And that, I think that's quite inspiring. Like in anything in life, if you've got good representation, then it's only going to help you. And like we have technology now, so that people can reach out, whether they're from your home village or they know you from somebody else or whatever. So that I think that's really good. Like if my son decided that he's gay, then I feel like he's much more well equipped to deal with the changes or all the different aspects of that than maybe I would have been at his age or before that. So that's really it's really helpful and inspiring, I think. Is there a fear for you then? I guess like you've kind of said like things have changed, but you mentioned some maybe more negative things in the past. Is there a fear to you, like going through life, that you're going to just deal with people that are quite anti LGBT and that they might hold some resentment for you, or is that not something that really phases you? Like let's say you work with somebody and you just got that suspicion that they're not.
It's always part of you. Like you grow up changing the way you walk, changing the way you sound, changing the way you're going to move your body, or it's always something, it's in the back of my head. It's like a protection. So you grow up because you've been attacked so long. So going for a job is always something that I will be careful of. If I get asked questions, you never know. And it's always in the back of your head. And it's something I learned. It's really strange, but I think every gay person will tell you exactly the same. So you never know till you feel comfortable, and I think people make you comfortable quite easily, and you know straight away you've got a radar for that. So it's really strange, but everything is silly. But like buying a train ticket or anything, everything you do, I'm always aware of that.
I think like it's very easy for me to ask that question because I really probably don't. I'm probably one of the least likely people to get anything like that as a straight white male. Like people say it's life on easy mode, but in many ways it is. So there must be people like of different ethnicities, everything, disabilities, everything that feel that way. There's that someone might have this bias against me and I'll never know. And you just have to hope, don't you? And that's the thing, like my wife is Asian, so sometimes I feel like, do people, especially in COVID time when people are very anti-Asian, I was really like, I'm worried about you, but she said, it's just life for me. Like you just get on with it, don't you? So it's good that, I think it builds resilience in everybody, but it's a shame that you have to feel that way in the first place.
Yeah, it does. It's like, especially with sexuality, like it's really strange. It's I always been sexualized. It's really weird. Even from a young age, people were like, "Oh, he's gay." I didn't even know what it was. So it's really strange. But like I meet my best friend's partner, and often I heard my friends saying like, "Oh, he's scared that you're into him," and I was like, well, I don't want everyone.
That's not how it works.
Or like I go to someone place and they say, "Oh, can you and your partner don't kiss in front of my child because they don't know what it is." I don't do that. but as well, like no one, my friend will never say that to my sister and her partner. So you sexualize straight away. And
I never thought of it like that, but you're right. Like I remember years ago, like it must have been like Coronation Street or some soap like that, and my dad's quite old fashioned, and at the time, like it must have been two guys kissing, and he just went, ugh, and it's like, but why? Like, what's the difference between that? Like, okay, you might not like seeing that, but like these days, I think it's more common. But back then, it wasn't on like a soap drama. You wouldn't see it that often. And he was just like, why are they showing that? And but that's life, isn't it? Like, there's so many people you don't know that may be one thing or another thing, and does it affect you? No. So just let people get on with it. And it's a shame that there's places where it's like a crime for all different things, and it just makes me sad. Like, if my son or other child or whatever decides that's how they want to be, I don't want anyone to grow up in fear or as a victim potentially. So Yeah, it's a shame. Did you find it was difficult to navigate coming out as gay then, or was that not such a difficult thing?
No, I was really lucky because my parents were really tolerant. I grew up with every culture, every religion in my home. We even had drugs in the house with people. So my parents always told me about everything.
Yeah.
And all my cousins are gay. So I was the youngest male in my Spanish side.
Yeah.
And my grandma used to say, like, oh, you're my last hope to to bring the name. I never dared telling her.
Yeah.
But it was funny because my parents never judged me. I wanted a doll, I had a doll. I wanted a pushchair, I would have a pushchair. My mom never judged me. She would come home and I would take her wedding dress and I would wear it or wear makeup. She never made me feel strange. So I never questioned. But I fell in love with girls, I fell in love with boys. Growing up, I wanted both. And I did both, and my mom was like, "You need to pick." but like she got upset because she was like she wanted grandkids, and she was like, "Oh, maybe I would never get grandkids," but she never judged me.
Yeah.
And even my dad, who was quite like a macho, he was Spanish. He would always say, "Oh, there is no gay in my home," but my cousins were gay, and they come and. He was the first one to hug them.
Yeah.
But when he was sick before I lost him, my partner at the time, who was mixed race as well, and my dad said like, oh, come see us, and I took him with me, and he just hugged us and said like he loved us. Like I never felt racism or sexism or any homophobia, nothing like that in my home. So it wasn't hard to do that.
Yeah.
It was more when my mum told the neighbors or told the school or told people, it was like quite embarrassing to have to define myself of what I do with my body. It was that weird moment when I understood what I could do with my body, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to explain what I do with my body. It was really weird.
Because we don't like I don't go out and say like, hey, I'm straight, or like, whatever, or like I wouldn't expect my mum to like introduce me to her friends. Like, this is my son, he's straight, or whatever. Like, so why do you have to do it for anything else? So yeah.
But even at work, like it's funny, but in Disney, I remember my first day, and my colleague said, "Oh, are you gay?" And I couldn't say it. Because I was like, what? And I was stuck with that. People was thinking, like, oh, he's not assuming he's gay. I was like, I have a partner, but I don't know, I felt weird having to explain my sexuality in a job place. It was really strange.
Why does it matter?
Yeah, but now I say it freely because I've grown up and I know my body, I'm confident, I'm comfortable with it. Yeah. But it took me quite a long time to be like, oh yeah, that's who I am. And because people define me by what I do with my body, I need to say it. So I get comfortable with it. I don't mind.
That makes sense. Do you know what? I think about what you're saying. Like the amount of people that I meet that are gay or lesbian or trans or anything. Like when I meet them, it just comes up in conversation. It's never like I feel that. First of all, I wouldn't ask, and second of all, like I never feel the need to go. Are they in there? Because first, it's not my business, and it just comes up in conversation like naturally. Well, maybe it's just where we work at the moment because we have such a wide range of people here. But yeah, it's never been like like you're thinking like, are they? Like it just comes up in conversation, and that's how it should be. Like it's not something you have to like have on your ID, is it? You know,
it's strange, but like we just bought a home, but like even visiting home, like at some point we were like, oh, do we need to go separately because we were treated in different ways? So like it's always like. Coming out is coming out to everyone. It's not just to your parents. It's really weird. You want to buy a home. The amount of time I got asked, oh, are you brothers? And people didn't want to sell the house, or people didn't want to make us visit the house anymore. But you would see them with the 3 couples in front of you visiting the house inside a home. Yeah. So it's like coming out to everyone is constant. So it's really strange, but it's something it's not, you just don't do it once. You do it
Does it not feel exhausting to do that? To have to, like you're saying, you have to come out to everyone like consistently. You have to kind of bring it up. Is it?
It's part of life. It is tiring, but it's.
But I think you're unapologetically you in everything that you do, from what I see anyway. And I think that's something I wish I could emulate sometimes, because sometimes I'm a bit shy to say something about myself. But I think you just this is me. Ask me anything.
Yeah, I'm really lucky. I'm really lucky. It's the way I grew up, but it took a lot of pain. But also my parents were educating me to be free. Yeah. So I'm really lucky. I know I'm really.
I think
really
it's paid off, the education that they've given you, right? So that's good. That's a good way to think of it. What's it like being a part of this community then? So the LGBT community. Do you feel like there's good support in place? So you might have touched on this already. You know, in modern times, it's people can reach out to anybody. But do you think generally there's a good support in place for people of that community, or is it too wide of a question, maybe.
Yeah, well, it's hard. There is so many points. Like, it's hard to be gay inside the gay community because there is so many. Like, you're old when you're 30. Like, you can't find anyone.
Yeah.
It's really hard. The community is really weird, and we're so divided as well with lesbians and trans and no one, and even like people of color. Or it's so divided. If we were all together, it would be much easier for everyone. So it's not just being gay. It's like communities inside communities, and also like with the AIDS and people who got AIDS who get judged, and all this stuff is so hard. But I think it's getting better. We get support, even though like it's in so many countries it's going backwards. But we're pretty lucky in the UK and Europe to have so much protection, and it's coming, and you can see that they are coming in regulation as well, where we finally get protection. It's not long ago, but I remember being attacked in Paris, and I did not have the rights.
To like prosecute, sorry, or anything like that?
Because it wasn't written anywhere. So being gay is not. It wasn't a thing. You're not protected for that. In so many countries, you're not protected. So it's really strange, but it's basic rights that you can't fight.
Yeah, it's a big topic these days, isn't it? I mean, like even when other countries are hosting other countries for sports, and people want to wear armbands, and you can't, and it's I understand bits of it, like you can't change a way a country's religion has been forever, like overnight, and these things. But I do think generally it's getting better. Like I mean, like where we work is a great example. We literally have pretty much every religion, pretty much every country works here in some form. Every language is covered. Every disability feels like, but it's great. Like I feel kind of out of place sometimes in a good way. Like I'm so happy this the place where everybody seems to feel comfortable with each other here, at least for the most part. So that's another reason why I wouldn't ever want to leave here. So
no, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, it's good. I'll kind of wrap this up then, because I feel like I could talk to you forever with so many questions, and maybe we'll do a follow-up one day, because there's things you definitely mentioned that I want to go back to. What I want to do is just thank you for your time today. Like you put a lot of effort into this, because I sent you the questions before and you wrote your answers to me already, and I learned so much from that, and there's so many things we haven't touched on, so I do hope we can do this again sometime. But thank you for being so open, so honest, and so insightful about like your life. Again, if we had more time, I would definitely do this again. So and thank you for being the first video interview. So we'll see if this sets the precedent now, and how it goes. But is there any kind of like closing thing you want to say?
Thank you, Louis, because I read all the interview you do, and I think it's a good way to make stories shine. And I always love reading these stories, and I'm so glad you asked me, because I discovered so many people around me that I know. And it's really good. I'm happy to have done that.
Fantastic. No, thank you, and thank you for the kind words, because that's why I do it. I mean, I know I focus a lot on work people, but there's just so many people to talk to here, and it's great. And I've learned a lot about people, and I've had people come up to me and say, "Oh, I didn't know this about this person we work with, but now I do, and actually that's a similar interest we have and stuff." So it's great, and I hope that anyone's story, like yours, anyone else's that I've interviewed, helps somebody in some way. So.
I'm sure it does.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
See, we're good.